booklet?
I have one now.
Yay! Oh, amazing. So, quickly running through our class rules. Welcome to Miss Rachel's class. Okay, as you remember, we are learning about the movie study. So we're learning about Finding Nemo, which is super exciting and super fun. So currently we are studying part 1, Under the Sea. So the first 15 minutes of the movie. We're meant to have a homework yesterday, but because many students didn't have a booklet, I'm going to do the homework together now. So it's all about character traits. Character traits are adjectives to describe what a character's personality is like. We can make a conclusion about this through their thoughts, their actions, and their words. So I want to quickly run through what we learned yesterday. Okay, so this is Coral. Coral is a clownfish. She is Nemo's mother and Marlin's wife. She is brave, loving, caring, and protective. Who can tell me why they know that Coral is brave, loving, caring, and protective? How do we know that she's brave, loving, caring, and protective? Let's go for Nancy. Nancy?
In the first place, Coral jokes around with Marlin, and that shows that she's loving.
Good girl.
And she wants to take care of her eggs, so she's caring too. And the thing that makes her protective is when she saw the fish, which is the barracuda.
Good girl.
She stands out to see what. And when Marlin says she must go down so that fish won't eat her, I think Marlin just spotted a barracuda before she does.
Very
But
good.
she doesn't listen because she is protective.
Good girl. Well done, Nancy. That's perfect. Okay, so she's brave and protective because she risks her own life to save the eggs. Unfortunately, she is unable to do so. And she's loving and caring with Marlin. They're joking around and having a good time. Well done, Nancy. Okay, the next character is Marlin. He is also a clownfish. He is Nemo's dad. Now, before the incident, he is happy, brave, and playful. We know this because he's joking around with Coral, they're teasing each other, and they're just very happy. Unfortunately, after Coral's death, he becomes worried, overprotective, and overly caring. He makes a promise to Nemo to say, I will never let anything bad happen to you. So all of these events change who he is and how he acts as a fish. Okay, and then we have Nemo. Nemo is also a clownfish. He is the son of Marlin and Coral. Nemo is energetic, curious, playful, cheerful, and eager. How do we know that Nemo is energetic, curious, playful, cheerful, and eager? What are some things that he does that show you how he acts this way? Okay, Simon?
The first part that Nemo just when Nemo woke up, he is very excited to go to school and keep working that up and go to school. And
very good. Well done. When he first wakes up, he's super energetic, playful, cheerful, and eager. He's like, come on, Dad, let's go to school. Let's go to school. This shows that he's energetic, playful, cheerful, and eager. Well done, Simon. We know that he's curious because he asks lots of questions about the marine life. He says, how many teeth do sharks have? And he also asks his dad, how long do sea turtles live? So he's curious about the world. He wants to find out more. Okay, then we learned about Bob, Ted, and Phil. So Bob is the seahorse, Bill is a long-nosed butterfly fish, and Ted is the octopus. Now, these characters are minor characters, so we don't learn a lot about them. But we do know that Bob is Sheldon's dad, Ted is Pearl's dad, and Bill is Tad's dad. We find out that they are friendly and talkative because they talk to Marlin and they are supportive of him on his first day of Nemo's day at school. Okay, then we meet Nemo's classmates. We meet Sheldon, Pearl, and Tad. So they are Nemo's classmates and they are friendly and curious. Also, we don't learn an awful lot about them because they are also minor characters. And the last character we learn about is Mr. Ray. So Mr. Ray is a blue and white spotted eagle ray. He is the science teacher, and he is jolly, playful, clever, lyrical, and energetic. So, this is what we were supposed to do for homework, but we're going to do now. So everyone turn to page 11, please. Turn to page 11 and get a pencil or pen at the ready as we're going to match up the names to the pictures. Okay, here we go. The first name is Bill. Bill is the dad of Tad. So we're going to draw a line from Bill to this long-nosed butterfly fish. He is the father of Tad. So everyone draw a line from Bill to the dad of Tad. Next is Bob. Bob is the dad of Sheldon. So Bob is the seahorse, the daddy seahorse. All drawing your lines. Okay, next is Coral, and we know that Coral is Nemo's mom, so she is the first picture. This is Coral. It's her looking at her eggs. Let's draw a line from Coral to Nemo's mom. Okay, next. Now, this is a spelling error. I'm sorry. So this should say Marlin. Marlin. And we know that Marlin is Nemo's dad, not Martin. There's no Martin in this film. This is Marlin. And I'm sure that in your books it is Marlin. So this should say Marlin. Marlin. Okay, next is Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray is the science teacher. So he's at the very bottom here. So let's all draw a line to Mr. Ray, to the science teacher. Then we have Nemo. Very, very easy. We all know who Nemo is. He's the third fish with the small little fin. Cute little Nemo. Okay, then we have Pearl. Pearl is the daughter of Ted, and she is the baby octopus, the child octopus. So we just draw a straight line over to Pearl. Then we have Sheldon. Sheldon is the son of Bob. He is the child seahorse. So another straight line over to Sheldon. Then we have Tad. Tad is the son of Bill. He is the long-nosed butterfly fish. So another straight line over to the picture of Tad. And then finally, we have Ted. Ted is the daddy octopus. So we draw a line from Ted to the daddy octopus. Now, the next part we're going to do can mean that many students can have different answers, okay? So there's not one correct answer for the next part. What I want us to do now is talk about character traits for each of the characters. I want you to tell me one adjective that describes this character. So you could have many different answers. Cherry, can you tell me one adjective to describe Coral, Nemo's mom?
She caring.
Good girl, well done, Cherry. She is caring. So I've written down brave or loving. You pick one word, okay? Brave, loving, caring, kind, up to you. Just one. It doesn't have to be the same as my words. You can come up with your own word. Okay, next is Marlin. Who can give me one word to describe Marlin? Dammy. Go ahead, Dammy.
Protective.
Protective. Very good. Very good. That's probably the most important word. So he's overprotective or protective. Up to you what you want to write down. Well done, Dammy. He's very overprotective of Nemo. Next is Nemo. Michael.
Playful.
Very good. Well done. That's perfect. So we could have curious, playful, happy. Up to you guys. You don't have to write the same words as me down. Think of your own words. Okay? So for Ted, Bob, and Bill, we're going to write the same word down for them if you want to, because we don't know much about them. So the word that I have chosen for them is friendly, friendly, and friendly. We don't learn much about them, but we do know that they talk to Marlin and they're friendly. Yes, Kaki?
Pear is cheerful.
Very good. Well done, Kaki. Lovely. Pearl is cheerful. Yep, I've got happy or playful. Both would work. All three would work. Happy, playful, cheerful. Okay, Sheldon, I wrote, is playful. He likes to play. I also wrote the same thing for Tad. They are both playful. You could have happy, playful, cheerful, kind, whatever you would like to write, because it's all about how you think of them. What do you think of them? Okay, Mr. Ray. What could we say about Mr. Ray? Halling.
Silly.
Silly. That's a good one. Well done. Silly. So yeah, we could write silly, we could write cheerful, we could write smart, we could write happy. Well done, Haling. Perfect. Mr. Ray is silly, cheerful, smart. He's a really good teacher. He makes the kids very happy. Okay, so well done, guys. Amazing work. That was meant to be for homework, but we've just completed it in class because most of us have our books today. Okay, so let's get started on the actual lesson. So you can put your pen down and just leave your notebook on your desk. Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to go through part one's timeline. So have a look at page 17 in your notebook. It should look like this. Page 17 in your notebook should look like this, part one's timeline. We're going to go through part one, and I want you to retell the story. That's what I want you to do today. I want you to retell the story from looking at the pictures. Let's go through the timeline. Let's think about time order words that we can use. Okay, what's happening here? Who can retell this part of the story? Simon.
Oh, the big Santa just find Coral in Maryland, and Coral is afraid that the shark could eat all the eggs. So Coral protect the eggs, and the shark eat Coral and eat all the eggs, but
Very good.
left one.
Very good. Perfect, Simon. Now be careful. So this isn't a shark. I know it kind of looks like a shark. This animal is called a barracuda. So it's a lot smaller than a shark, but it is a very big fish. But well done, Simon. That's perfect. So we can write down first, marlin and coral are in their new home. Then a barracuda comes and eats coral and most of the eggs. Again, you can write your own sentence. It does not have to be the same as my sentence. As long as you get the information that they're in a new home, a barracuda comes and eats coral and most of the eggs. So I want you to write this down here. I'll show you where you want to write it. We're going to write it here on these lines. So let's write this down as fast as we can so that we can do less writing and more talking. So first, marlin and coral are in their new home. Then a barracuda comes and eats coral and most of the egg. So it's an evil barracuda. It's a very sad scene. So this is the drop-off. This is where they live at the beginning. They live at the drop-off. Okay? So I'm going to give you 15 seconds to write the rest of this down. Good, I can see that some of you are finished. Well done. If you're not finished, do not panic. It's okay. I know that we write at different speeds. This PowerPoint will be sent to you, and I expect you to copy in and catch up with what you don't get finished in class. Okay, next, what happens? So first, they're in their home, and a barracuda comes. He hits marlin. He eats coral. He eats all the eggs. What happens? See.
Barracuda may ate most of the eggs, but there's still one egg left. Marlin picks the egg up and says Nemo because Carl says one could be Nemo and the other names, and then Marlin says I will never. He promises that Nemo, I will promise never let anything bad happen to you.
Perfect, Nancy. Well done. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So next, Marlin wakes up and finds one egg. He calls him Nemo and promises to never let anything bad happen to him. So that is the start of Marlin becoming very overprotective. Marlin has witnessed something horrible happen. He's lost his wife. He's lost 399 of his children. There's only one left. And he makes a promise. I will never let anything bad happen to you. So everyone write this down, please. Again, you can write your own sentence or you can copy my sentences. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a few more seconds to finish. Write it down as fast as you can, as fast as your hands will move. Marlin wakes up and finds an egg. He calls him Nemo and promises to never let anything bad happen to him. So this is the start of him becoming very overprotective. Again, guys, if you haven't finished, don't worry. It will be sent to you and you can copy up after class. Okay, what's happening here? Where does Nemo go? Nemo goes to his first day of swimming.
School.
School, very good. And Zwiming, where do they go on their first day of school?
They go to the drop off.
Very good. They go to the drop off. And how does Marlon feel when he finds out they go to the drop off?
Marlon feels mad.
Good. Well done, Zui Ming. Perfect. Okay. Then, time order words are super important. Then, Nemo has his first day of school. They go to explore the drop off. Marlin finds out where they're going and is very unhappy. Why? Why is Marlin unhappy that they're going to the drop off? What happened at the drop off that will make Marlin very unhappy and scared? What happened there? Michael.
First, there was a barracuda at the drop off. That was where they first lived. And the barracuda eats coral.
Very
Nemo's
good.
mom.
Very
And
good.
Marlin doesn't want that to happen to Nemo.
Exactly. Perfect. Well done, Michael. So Marlin gets so angry. He says, "What? Are you insane? The drop off? Why don't we just fry them up and serve them with chips?" So he makes kind of a joke. He's saying, "Why don't we just serve the fish as food?" Saying that it's so dangerous that they probably will get hurt that we might as well serve them as food. So he's very unhappy because the drop off is where he lost his wife and most of his kids. So everyone write this down. Then Nemo has his first day of school. They go to explore the drop off. Marlin finds out where they're going and is very unhappy. Again, you can write your own sentence. You don't have to write my sentence. If you want to word it differently, that's perfectly fine. If you want to write my sentence, that's also fine too. So Nemo has his first day of school. He meets Mr. Ray. They go to the drop off and Marlin finds out and is super angry. Well done, Dammy. Well done. Marlin says, Bob, Sheldon's dad, is like, "Don't worry, it's okay." And he says, "Don't tell me not to worry, pony boy." And the three dads say, "Pony boy? He really isn't a funny fish at all, is he?" Well done, Dammy. Well done for remembering that. Okay, I'm going to give 15 more seconds. Don't worry if you haven't finished. Don't worry, guys. It's absolutely fine if you have not finished. As I said, this will be sent to you and you can catch up at home. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. What's happening here? What happens next? What's happening here? Marlin looks pretty angry. Nemo looks pretty angry too. Why are they angry? What has happened? Who can retell this part of the story? Jenny, can you tell me what happens in this part?
So one friend said, "I can go to the boat," and Nemo went. And Dad said, "You cannot swim well." But Nemo didn't listen. Nemo go to the boat.
Very good. Well done, Jenny. So they go to the drop off, and Pearl, Sheldon, and Tad, the three classmates, they sneak off. They say, "Come on, let's get out of here." They go to the edge of the drop off and they see a boat. And they're like, "Whoa, what's that boat? Oh my goodness." And they tease each other. They're saying, "Look how far I can get to the boat." So they have a competition to see who's brave enough to go out to the boat. When it comes to Nemo's turn, Nemo says, "I don't know. My dad said it's pretty dangerous." So he doesn't go out, but then Marlin swims in and gets really, really angry. He says, "Nemo, no, you cannot swim well. You've got a bad fin," and he gets really angry. Nemo is annoyed because his dad has embarrassed him about saying that he cannot swim well. So he swims out to the boat. So Marlin embarrasses Nemo by saying he can't swim well. Nemo wants to show that he can swim well and that he is brave, so he swims out and touches the boat. So let's all write this down. So again, you can write this in your own sentences. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. So Marlin embarrasses Nemo by saying he cannot swim well. This really annoys Nemo. Nemo wants to prove that he can swim well and that he is brave, so he swims out and touches the boat, even though his dad says not to. Yes, Tammy, they do. They mistake the boat for a butt. They say, "I think it's called a butt," but they are wrong. It's a boat. All right, guys, I will give you 15 more seconds. Okay, and stop. Again, don't worry if you haven't finished. This will be sent to your mom and dad so you can go through the slideshow and fill in anything that you missed out in class today. That's okay, don't worry. Okay, so yep, we have one more of the timeline to fill in. What happens here? So Nemo puts out his fin. Marlin says, "Do not touch the," and Nemo slaps the boat. He says, "Nemo!" And then Nemo starts swimming back. And then what happens? Katie.
Nemo swims back, but the people catches Nemo.
Yeah, very good. The people catch Nemo. Well done, Katie. So Nemo is swimming back to the coral reef to go back to his dad, but two scuba divers approach the coral reef and they capture Nemo. Okay, so one scuba diver captures Nemo and the other scuba diver takes a picture of Marlin, flash on. So if you've ever been to an aquarium where you can go to see lots of fish, often you will see a sign that says, one, do not tap the glass, and two, do not take flash pictures of the fish. The reason is because the flash is so bright, it really confuses the fish. It makes them feel dizzy and they cannot see properly. So that's what happens to Marlin when he gets a picture taken of him. That's why he cannot swim straight out. Cherry.
We can take a picture, but we cannot leave the camera in flash.
Good girl. So you are allowed to take pictures, but you do not use your flash because that harms the fish, and we don't want to harm the fish. But good girl, you are allowed to take videos or you are allowed to take pictures as long as you don't have your flash on the camera because it will damage the fish. Yes, Nancy?
Yeah. Why are these humans taking fish away from their wildlife? I think it's their home, and I don't know why they go catching them. They put them in tanks, and they usually put tanks in dentists and stuff. And when someone finished with their teeth, children just take them home.
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask. That's my next question. How do we feel about scuba divers taking fish away from their homes? Because this is a very common thing. If you see any fish anywhere in the world in a tank, someone has taken them from a pond or a lake or the sea and taken them away from their home. What do we think about that? What's our opinion of taking fish away from their home and having them as pets? Kaki, what do you think?
It is bad because
Why do you think it's bad?
it don't have their shelter and food to eat. So sometimes people want to eat it or want to take it into the tank. It few more days it will die.
Very good. Sometimes it could die. You're right. If it's not looked after properly and they don't have the correct food, they may not have a very nice life and they may die. Perfect, Kaki. So it's not very nice. And Cherry, what do you think? What do you think of scuba divers coming in and taking fish away from their home?
It's bad because I have a fish at home too. I cannot take care of it, and one day I fixed my house and the bricks fall in the fish and the fish die.
Oh no. So when you were fixing your house, a brick fell in and hurt your fish? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, and that would never happen if a fish was in the ocean or in its natural habitat. Well, thank you for sharing, Cherry. Okay, one more. Simon, what do you think about it? What do you think?
I also have a fish pet, but now I just got a small because one day when my mom and dad buy me two fish, one grown up and someday they just already die. They die so quickly.
What? They died instantly? They died really quickly?
And my grandpa had to buy one more, and two of them have, and one has died now, and one more has died.
Oh my goodness, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, there we go. I think that some fish, they don't do very well with living in captivity. They don't like living in tanks. They want to live in their own habitat, whether that be a pond in freshwater lakes or whether it's in the sea with all the coral and the sharks and the eels. So we have different opinions. Some people think it's okay to have pet fish. Some people maybe think it's not okay. They want fish to live in their natural habitat. The story in Finding Nemo definitely highlights the horror of a family being taken apart just because someone wants a pet. So that's what Finding Nemo highlights. Okay, amazing work, guys. Really good job. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what you have to do for homework today. Let's have a look. For homework today, you will complete some different things. Okay, firstly, you will complete page 16. So everyone go to page 16 in your notebook and draw a star or write homework. Or write homework so that you don't forget what you have to do. So go to page 16 and write homework or give it a star or circle it. So page number 16, character traits table. So what I want you to do for this homework is I want you to write one sentence for each box. You write one sentence to describe each character's personality. So we've done a lot of this today and we did some of this yesterday. So it should be fresh in your head. I'll give you an example. So for Marlin, I wrote, he is a caring, overprotective, strict, and worried father. Okay, so you write one sentence to describe their character. So Marlon is a caring, overprotective, strict, and worried father. That was my example. So this is homework number 1, guys. This is your first thing that I want you to do for homework. You write one sentence in each box describing each character's personality. Here is my example of what I wrote for Marlon. So we will check that together tomorrow. Okay, and your next homework is, okay, page number 13 and 15. Page number 13 and 15. So what you have to do here is I want you to cut these pictures out and glue them onto the right positions on the character relationship chart. Okay, so this is page 13 and this is page 15. So you cut out Coral, Marlin, and Nemo. Where would we put Coral, Marlin, and Nemo? We're going to put Coral here and we're going to put Marlin here to show that they are together. And then the arrow shows that they had a baby, which would be Nemo. Then I want you to put the dads here, their kids, in the classmates box, and whoever the teacher is, you glue the teacher here so that your chart should show all the characters that we've learned about in part 1. Okay, guys, so that is your second homework. So I want someone to explain to me what we have to do for homework. Dami.
We have to do the Nemo book.
Okay, what about the Nemo book? What do we do in the Nemo book?
We do page 16, 15, and 14.
15 and 13. 15 and 13. There's nothing on page 14. So this is page 13 and this is page 15. Yep. So we write one sentence to describe each character. Then we cut and stick each of the characters to show the relationships they have. Then tomorrow we're going to finish part 1 and we're also going to start part 2. Today, sorry. I want you to watch part 2 today. You can watch part 1 and part 2 straight after each other just to refresh your memory because we're going to finish doing part 1 tomorrow and we will start a bit of part 2. Now, on that note, our class is up and I'm going to say goodbye. So I will see you all tomorrow, guys. Have a
Bye
great day.
bye.
Have fun watching Finding Nemo.